Right, today we're going to do Alpha Investments. I'm
Folks,
not sure.
welcome back, everybody. Please hold for the next available representative. All right. Today's conversation is on this new era of CCGs and magic and the situation of everything going on out there. Obviously, today's big blowing up news headline is now back to Hasbro Magic the Gathering, and everybody, these rumors swirling that Hasbro Wizards of the Coast wants to sell off their Dungeons and Dragons IP, the rights to the brand, to Tencent, I think it's pronounced, the giant Chinese company that buys up everything and has endless money. First, before we even get into the video, and everybody gets wound up about everything, the rumors are false. So,
And the video is done. It was all a lie. Who do we believe? The fucking 9-year-old BSer on Twitter, because we are all morons. We got corporate news, Fox, we're busy destroying families, murdering people in Iraq, and what do we have? We have an 8-year-old kid who drew a picture of weapons of mass destruction, so we have to mass murder thousands of people. That's how freaking intelligent we are. The end. The video's over. Ta-da! All we have to do is do 5 seconds of research to figure out everything was a lie, because everything on Twitter is BS and dumb, and you should never listen to anything on Twitter or TikTok or whatever social media site you have, because there's no way to vet those anonymous people. You're all stupid for going here. Congratulations. The video's over. To the end. Ta-da.
Hasbro's already
Anyways.
made a statement saying, dude, this is fake news, blah, blah, blah. It's not real. Hasbro put out a press release.
You know who brought fake news? Donald fucking Trump. The person that everybody in the world hates because he's the only person that's telling the truth. It must really piss them off. And everybody's saying that he's lying when these motherfuckers, every single news person knows, well, anybody with any common sense knows that the mainstream media lies all the time. Let me give you an example here. News channel fires anchors over Los Santos cancer for kids. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh. TV journalists who researched controversial growth hormone used by milk products and cows produced by Monsanto's corporation, who unironically owns the news source, or they have affiliates that own the news source, where all these anchors were fired. Why were they fired? Because they won't lie for the mainstream media to kill children. Oh, that's where they stop? No, these guys were fired, and the guys they replaced them with are fucking okay with. Oops, sorry, said a bad word. They are okay with mass murdering children on, uh, you know, your own soil in America, in wherever you live, British Columbia. They don't care about you. That's why. That's why the mainstream media says Donald Trump lies. Is because he's the only one telling the truth. It's ridiculous. Well, he may not tell the truth all the time, but he told the truth about the mainstream media lying. And if the mainstream media always lies, especially when it comes to killing children, they're not allowed to accuse anybody else of being liars, because the mainstream media has gone far and beyond. They have, they've gone to the tip of genocide. They're literally close to be like almost. They probably passed Hitler, the amount of people that the amount of innocent people they've murdered. But let's go on. Let's go on. Not a big deal.
Today, which is why I waited overnight to film a video on it. So first, I just want to get that very clear. This shenanigans and change up going on is not really a real thing. Hasbro is not looking to unload.
The moment you find out something is a lie, why are you still talking about it? If fucking children on the playground, in a kindergarten playground, are talking about some made up story, are you gonna go and make a report about it? That's the mainstream media. That's what they do all the time. They see a TikTok, or they see a Twitter from a freaking 8-year-old or something, somebody in kindergarten, first grade, and like, this must be true because I'm not stupid. This Twitter is true. It's true. Gosh,
Any
morons.
Dungeons and Dragons IP. It's
Only,
not looking at dumb.
only people like Alpha investments would take a fake story and run with it like it was had any credibility at all. He would believe anything he sees on Twitter if it's from an anonymous account. Of course he would. Of course he would. And now he's reporting on it like something's like like there's some credibility.
Wizards of the Coast and all this dramatic. They're not looking to chop up and make little pieces out of Hasbro. This is pretty much just inaccurate information, everybody. And I want to take
It should say it's inaccurate information. The end, and he's still talking about it. Oh
step
my
back
gosh.
from that. Usually, market cycles usually last as
Markets cycle. No, let's say history repeats itself. Everything cycles. Let's move on.
little as maybe a year or two, and they can go as long as maybe 5 to 8, maybe even up to 10 years. Usually,
Yeah, yes. Maybe it's 5 years, and if it doesn't happen in 5 years, it's 8 years. And if it doesn't happen in 8 years, it's 10 years. And if it doesn't happen in 10 years, then it's 12 years. And if it doesn't cycle in 12 years, then it's 20 years. So eventually, the price is going to have to come down because people lose interest. Global warming is the temperature is gonna go up, and then they're gonna have a global ice age, and then we're gonna have global warming. Holy cows! Everything's cycling. Duh. Let's go. And if it doesn't cycle, then I'm sorry, I'm wrong because I'm an alpha investment supporter. That's why I'm wrong because I believe them.
market cycle is between 4 and 6 years. I'd call it that. Usually, market cycles in the that boom and bust of economies, 2000s, after the dot-com 9/11, the economy was weak, rate cuts in 2001, 2002, weak economy. And then by 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, it went all the way up, 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 up. Cheap rates, cheap money, money machine went burr, stock markets all.
This is just so dumb. Gosh. So dumb. So dumb. Most of these economies going up and down, most of these are not because of a cycle. Most of these are because there's been such a huge depression that you've had riots or a lot of deaths, and then when a lot of people die. For example, in World War One, World War Two, we had a lot of people die, and when there's a lot of people dying, well, there's a lot of opening of jobs, and when there's a lot of opening of jobs, well, first of all, there's not enough people to take those jobs, and so in order to encourage people to take jobs, well, we have to raise the pay to those poor people. So that's the economy going up after World War II. That was called the boomers. The boomers, they were the people that were alive after World War II, after like 90% of the population was killed in war. Now, if there wasn't a war, there would not be a cycle. So you cannot say that there's always a cycle when there's things that influence the cycle. All right? If there was never a World War II that mass murdered 90% of the population, then there would be over too many people. There would be too many workers in the market, and then the results of too many workers would be low pay. And it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. So basically, what's happening right now in America, in order to reduce the cost of employing people, the rich people specifically are encouraging more workers from Mexico or anybody to come over the open border illegally, criminally. And the reason why they're supporting crime is because the people that are hiring those criminals are making a lot of money. And the people that are not making a lot of money are people that are doing the minimum wage jobs or the slightly above minimum wage jobs because they're competing with a illegal workforce. And what's even making it harder to compete with them is that the people in the legals, they don't have to sign up for the draft, they don't have to serve in the military, they don't have to follow the laws, and they don't have to pay taxes. When you subtract the 35 to 40% federal tax rate, or federal plus state tax rate, if you add up the federal tax rate plus the highest state tax rate, you're going to easily go over 40% tax. Then you realize that the illegal immigrants are getting paid 40% less because the businesses don't have to pay taxes on them. So somebody that's getting paid, let's say example, $10 an hour, right? So he's getting paid $10 an hour, and then 40% of that goes to the government. That's $6 going to the worker. A illegal can work for $6 an hour and have a equal or better life than the person that's in the country legally because he's not paying taxes on it. So that's how they get away with it, and they pretend it doesn't happen. They pretend that Americans don't do uh, those jobs that illegals are doing. For example, those illegals are not, or those Americans are not willing to do the worst jobs possible, like oil rigs and go to war and die, or go to Alaska and do all the snow stuff, or go in the sewers, and they don't do that stuff. And Americans only want to do stuff like, I don't know, farm and what else do? They mow lawns. The reason why Americans don't do that anymore is because they're not getting paid the minimum wage they want, which is for hard labor. You should be getting paid at least 150% more, or 50% more than the lowest paid job, because it's very strenuous and bodily and damage to your body. So of course, I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, I don't know. Idiots will say Americans don't do those jobs while I'm an American doing those jobs, and so it's just insulting. Anyways, I'm just ranting right now. Let's talk.
high, real estate prices all time high. Everything did very, very
Real estate prices are manipulated, extremely manipulated by the government, either by the interest rates or by the amount of land you're allowed to build on. And because they control it so extremely, they have absolute control over the prices. So if they wanted to reduce or lower the prices, they could just allow them to build more houses. Since they don't allow them to build more houses, guess what? The prices go up because there's limited. How do you also increase prices? Well, you allow illegal immigration. How do you also increase prices? Well, you don't allow them to take loans. You raise interest rates to 10 times they are now. I'm not going to Google it. Yeah, interest rates for home loans. It's 7.4%. 4 years ago, when Donald Trump was, slightly after Donald Trump, or when Donald Trump was in charge, the interest rate was only 3%. Now, why is that? What's the magic change? It's because the government doesn't, has to do with how they control the economy, how they make inflation, and so on. And so if the government prints a lot of money, they're creating inflation. The interest rates go up higher to make up for inflation. If they're not threatening to print money, then the interest rate will go down, and 3%, 2%, so people will buy during the low inflation rate. Now, why did the government need to print money? Well, because they wanted more money. It's like printing money. They're paying themselves, and then the money goes out and causes inflation. It's just the dumbest thing ever. But that's what they did, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. They can whine all they want, but the government is the government.
well. 2008, everything crashed, imploded.
Oh yeah, and in 2008, the banks committed fraud by selling, what do you call it? Fraudulent, uh, defaulted bank loans to other smaller banks, or whatever. They should have all gone to jail because it's fraud. If any low middle class or lower class citizen did the exact same thing these banks did, they would be in jail for 20, 30 years, because that is a crazy fraudulent thing they did. Okay, now what happened to the banks? Zero punishment, and they got a raise. The government paid them more money, which is ridiculous. All of those banks that committed fraud should have been out of business. Every single person that worked for those banks should have been out of a job, and then we should have promoted actual wealth or security to the people that actually work, to the people that have integrity and honesty, loyalty, that do the right thing and not lie, not commit fraud, not be criminals. But nope, in 2008, every single wealthy person that was involved in real estate knew it was happening. They knew they were breaking the law. They knew they were committing fraud, and they did it anyways. And none of them got punished. 0%. And so, you know what? That was 100% on the government's fault. And now it's just it's just getting worse. There's no trust in the economy right now. There's no trust in stocks because the people that make the most money in stocks are the criminal politicians, and they don't even know anything about stocks. They just make more money. How do they do that? Well, because they make the laws that affect the businesses. If they don't like a business that they're not buying the stock of, well, guess what they do? They make laws to punish those businesses so that the businesses that they're supporting make more money, and so the politicians will get more dividends. It's pretty stupid, but I don't know. And this is kind of why Donald Trump is so popular. He is not popular because he's he's the most um, brazen or manly politician. No, he's popular because the government is so absolutely corrupt, and if the only choices are absolutely corrupt people, well, it's better to vote for the insane person because he is clearly not corrupt. It's better to if your choices are the 100% insane person or the person that's 100% corrupt, who are you going to pick? Obviously, you're not going to pick the corrupt person because you're guaranteed to lose. At least the insane person gives you a chance, and maybe he might even punish the corrupt people. But that's wishful thinking, and by voting for the insane person, you're sending a message to the government that we know you're corrupt. Anyways,
Real estate, bank failures, everything. And then we entered the 2009, 10, 11 new market cycle also. In
it
2020,
it was not bank failures, by the way. He said bank failures. No, it was fraud, criminal bank bankers committing fraud. They sold illegal loans that were defaulted and pretended those were triple A perfect loans that are guaranteed to be paid off. They lied. They should have all been in jail for 20, 30 years, just like any middle class or low class citizen doing the exact same thing with the prison, except it did not happen to the ultra rich, top upper class people in charge of the bank because the government is corrupt. Absolutely. Anybody can research it. They even made a movie about it. It's ridiculous.
24, I'm extremely confident we are in a new market cycle. And this one, so
He's extremely confident. It's like flipping a coin. There's a 50% chance Alpha Investment is right. There's a 50% he's wrong. And the reason why he's right is because maybe we'll elect a new president that'll fix the criminals. Or maybe we'll elect, what's his name? Joe Biden again. It will keep going down the gutter. We're guaranteed to have absolute corruption and nothing will ever happen. You know, but you never know. It really depends on the politicians. Really depends on how corrupt the government becomes in the next cycle. It's a 50% chance. Yeah, it's hard to be worse than Biden. It's literally, I mean, it's possible to be worse than Biden, but it's extremely difficult, and everybody with any common sense knows this. So, oh no, I have to go pick up my son. All right. Um, I am out of time. I need to take a break. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Let's pause this video. We will come back. I have to do some work. I'll be back shortly.